Hey guys, guess what I found out today? I found out that Americans read an average of 12 books a year. That's one book a month. And the median, which is a statistical value that demonstrates the center as well, but kind of like takes out the outliers, is 4. 4 books a year. That's a one book every 3 months. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, nivlA, reading is hard. Or some of you are thinking that. I have to agree. I didn't read a single book like my junior year and half my senior year, but I think there are really some great benefits to reading now, after February and up to this point. So I'm going to share some reasons to read more. Let's go. Connor, you ready? Yeah, let's go. Alright, so reading, yes. Imagine, so here's an analogy to reading more. Let's say you're a computer, and you're on the web, and you download this file, and immediately you have so many more capabilities just with this download, and that's kind of like reading in a sense. Like you read a book, and then all of this information, basically an expert's account of their industry, like entrepreneurship or psychology. This information that this expert wrote down is immediately downloaded into your brain, and you understand this topic, or you know that the topic exists and you can delve further into it. There are so many more outcomes that can come about after you read a book or you read many books. And so earlier I shared with you the statistic that Americans read an average of 12 books a year, but then that's a large gap from 12 books to some of the CEOs. They're making very important decisions for their companies and doing all this stuff. I must assume that they're really busy, but they're also reading 52 books a year, and the average American is 12 books a year? It doesn't really add up. And I'm not making this video to have people feel bad about themselves. I'm just saying that there must be something that we're missing, which is why we're not reading this much. And I think a large reason is that we don't know either the power of the books and the power of reading extensively, but there's also another concept that I've been brewing over. It's the concept that you don't know what you don't know. And it's really weird that I'm thinking about this, but let's go for an example. Let's say entrepreneurship. I read this book, The Third Door by Alex Banayan. Can you see it? The Third Door by Alex Banayan. And it opened my eyes up to the world of entrepreneurship. And before that, I had no idea what entrepreneurship was. It was like, I just didn't know. I was a senior in high school and I still didn't know. And because it wasn't something that I really stumbled upon or was interested in. But once I read this book, I was like, whoa, it opened my eyes to something huge. Like there's so many people who are into this area, this subject, this industry, really, and to create something that's bigger than them. And so that has led me to other different books like Delivering Happiness by Tony Hsieh, and right here we have The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferris. And so I've been reading those books lately just because I read The Third Door. And so what happens with you don't know what you don't know is I didn't know what entrepreneurship was, but before that I wasn't even looking to learn about entrepreneurship. I didn't know what entrepreneurship was, and I didn't know that I didn't know what it was. Does that make sense? That's kind of weird. I didn't know what entrepreneurship was. Anything. Entrepreneurship, I had no idea. Well, I didn't know that I was missing it. I was missing this whole community Really, I didn't know that I was missing the whole community, but once I read this book, wow, I was led to so many other books. I can think of another example, like OBS. I did that stream video, my third YouTube video I ever uploaded, I think, and I didn't know what OBS was before, but of course other people knew. If you don't know what it is, it's something that you can record your screen and your face at the same time, and then you could also stream to other people, like on Twitch or YouTube. And I didn't know what OBS was, but I didn't know that I was missing OBS, that it wasn't part of my life. I didn't know that it was something that wasn't part of my life. This is so confusing. It's very hard to explain this topic, but I hope you get it, because I don't think I can explain it any more thoroughly. Maybe if you guys want to hear me struggle about this subject, maybe I'll make an entire video about not knowing what you don't know, and then see how I fare with that. So comment down below if you want that video, and maybe watch me struggle. Yay! And so what reading books extensively does is basically let's say you do the challenge. You're like, okay, I want to read one book a week, or if I can't make that, try to get to 52 books in 1 year. And you're reading that, and you're reading this many books, and there's so many topics. You pick one from psychology, from engineering, from literature, from history, all of these subjects, and now you're learning, you're combating your not knowingness. You're not knowingness. You're combating your not knowingness. You don't know what you don't know? Well, guess what? You're going to read about it. You're going to go and, oh, this looks interesting. You see a book on the shelf, or you listen to a podcast or something, and you're introduced to this topic, and now you have this entire community that you can connect with because you know about this subject. And so that's incredible. It's amazing. That's the power of reading. And so I encourage you to begin reading. If you don't have your reading muscle activated currently, it's the summer, I encourage you to read one. Actually, I'm going to put links to the books that I read. They're mainly about entrepreneurship, if you're into that, down below in the description, and so you can check those out if you don't know where to start. Otherwise, either nonfiction. I was mentioning nonfiction for like downloading information into your brain, but you could also do fiction to join the main character, the protagonist, in their other world, the world of fantasy, or there's so many other genres of fiction. So yeah, just start reading 10 minutes a day and build from there. There's so many things that you will discover throughout this journey. It's amazing. I've recently started in February. Began with The Third Door, and then The 4-Hour Work Week, and then we have Limitless by Jim Quick. I love this book. And Flow, and of course, as I had last time, or the previous video, the Productivity Project. And so I'll put the links down in the description if you want any of those books, but I highly encourage you to start reading, and next week I will be uploading a video about increasing your reading speed 2 times or maybe even 3 times without losing comprehension. So be sure to stay and check that out, and we'll see you guys later.